Chair, we are benefiting because it has been
Hold
ruled
on,
by you.
Honorable Mulaudzi.
Thanks, Chair. Although I was not answered in terms of the land ownership audit when I was asking the professor. And I want to put it to you, Professor, that you are hiding the group you are. And I'm putting to you that you are Afro Forum in disguise.
Can you talk hard?
Chair, that's
We
out
can't-
of order. Sorry.
Can I answer that, please?
Honorable Mkweli.
No, Chair, thank you very much. We are asking these questions because some of us, I don't know, it is deliberate that we are not being given the prepared files. And my sister must not talk as if we are useless. For the reason,
No.
for Parliament to be where it is now is because of us. So don't think that we don't do research and we don't read these things. We are not being privy to have this information.
Honorable Mkweli.
I want the House to know that. My question to
Order,
the
members.
lady.
Am
I protected, Chair?
Clarity question, yes, please.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. No, I'm saying those nonsenses because you have been commenting about those nonsenses. I must
no.
make it on record. It must be, it's not a problem. It's not for you to tell me who am I. Who am I? Thank you. That's who am I. Chair, in your presentation, ma'am, you did mention that courts. Can I be protected,
Yeah.
Chair? It's not like I'm
Honorable
scared of
members,
anyone.
Please, let's not flout the process.
I'm
Let's
not
let
scared
the
of
member
you,
talk and we
brother.
will rule
I'm
out
not.
if she's out.
Don't even intimidate me. Never.
Yeah.
You must not talk when I'm
Honorable,
still talking.
Honorable-
Please, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not going to be scared by you or threatened by
Yeah,
you.
no.
Please,
Honorable Mkweli. And Honorable
I am
Phyllis-
who I am.
Yes. No,
Chair-
please stop the interjections to the member that was on
No, you
on-
must
on the
also
microphone.
tell him.
Honorable Mkweli.
He must not
let's
insult me
proceed
the
with
way he's doing.
Just proceed with your work.
Thank you. Ma'am, you did mention in your presentation there that courts must decide on expropriation, if I heard you correctly. I don't have your presentation. I'm not privy to this file. So you must pardon me. Now, I want to check with you that, are you telling us that whatever that needs to happen in terms of expropriation of land with or without compensation or land reform programs, must we then as a country refer all those matters to courts to decide for us on how to handle them?
Yeah, thank you. It took a long time for such a nice question. Eh?
That is a very
All right,
good...
Honorable Mpumlwana, followed by Dr. Mula, and we're closing it there.
Must I answer that? So I think that's a very valid question because a court process is long and retracted, and there can also be criticisms against court judgments, right? Because it's not necessarily a deliberative process. My argument back in 28 was that courts are best dealt or best situated to deal with the question of what is just and equitable because they have concrete cases in front of them. Justice and equity cannot be abstracted to certain principles that can be applicable in every situation because the question of justice and equity is a contextual question. What is just and equitable in one situation is not necessarily just and equitable in another situation. And then maybe through time, if the courts have deliberated on facts in front of them, there can be certain principles that crystallize. And I'm totally willing to say even in regulations or as we have, what do you call these practice notes sometimes, that industry can come up and say, the banks can come up and Agri-SA or Agribiz, Grain SA can say, well, in certain circumstances, these are factors that you can take into account when you determine what is just and equitable, because the courts really struggle for the very reason that some of those principles cannot be quantified. So they struggle to find, and as lawyers, we like the certainty, we like the quantity, but I think now that we are all having this conversation, it's perhaps a good starting point for industry or for people who might be affected that can come up with creative ideas of helping the courts to determine what might be in their specific circumstances be just and equitable.
Mlwana?
Yes, Professor, I thought you would come up with a conclusion that says this is the way forward. With your conclusion, it seems that you're just saying, we are just beginning to do what? How do we go forward? You say that Section 25 should expropriation should not be divorced from holistic approach. I mean, you come with very good English words, but you don't come concretely and say, this is the way forward. Are you saying that we're just beginning to talk, we must sit down and talk? What are you exactly saying?
So I
What
think,
must we do?
I think I said in the beginning of my presentation that we have the high-level panel report that pinpoints exactly where our problems lie, and it comes up with concrete. I think you've got the wrong document there, maybe.
This is also a wrong document.
Yeah.
Amen. Then I never get your correct document.
Honorable
Which
Mulder?
one? This is the wrong document. What's going on? No, but before you have not been asked.
Can you repeat yourself? Closer to the mic?
Now, I don't understand, because each time I try to talk, I'm told in the wrong document. Now, is this a wrong document?
Honorable
No, but I'm
Mulder,
talking from this
we'll
document.
sort that one out. Let's get Honorable Mulder.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah, I'm saying, now you are talking to the wrong, so you don't have a question.
No,
so
I
to
have
speak.
a
No,
wrong
sorry, that is the submission, yes. That was the
This is
written
the-
submission, yes, sorry.
Okay.
My apologies.
So you have an answer, Prof?
Yes, no, I don't have. I beg your pardon. Excuse
No,
me.
no. You've already put a
Chairperson-
question.
Chairperson, I was putting a question.
All right.
Now you are saying that I wanted to say, she said she's the wrong document. Now she says it's a correct document.
Yeah, but
Now-
you've already put the question, right? Yes. So on the wrong document, but the question, the whole thing is answered. You said you wanted to hear the conclusion, in terms of what then is captured in the conclusions in relation to the question before us.
Correct.
Yes.
the
So
answer
that's
is-
done.
That's not been answered. That's what I'm saying. That one has not been answered.
Fine. Prof,
As I was saying before, I said in the beginning that we agree with the high-level panel report from this Parliament, and we think that Parliament should take the recommendations and the conclusions in that document seriously and implement the changes that they suggest there. My biggest problem is we have not had an expropriation for land reform before in this country, so I don't know why we say that that is the issue that stands between successful land reform.
Honorable Mulder.
Yes, Chairperson, I just want to assist the process. We are at the beginning of 4 days of listening to submissions. All 3 of the submissions we heard this morning were accompanied by written documentation. But it's quite clear that some of the colleagues don't have that documentation. So all I'm asking is that before we listen to somebody, could you please just make sure from the table that everybody
right.
got the documents in front of them? It will assist the
Okay.
process.
All right. Thank you. We'll do that.